You open TikTok for one video, just one. You tell yourself it'll be a quick break, a reward before getting back to work. But somewhere between the first scroll and the fifth laugh, you lose the thread. You blink, and an hour's gone. You laugh, you scroll, you forget. But here's the scary part. It's not just your time that's disappearing. It's your memory that's being rewritten. Every swipe isn't just feeding you, it's training you. And what it's training you to do is forget faster. We've all been there. That weird moment after closing an app when your brain feels full, but empty at the same time. Like your mind's buzzing, but nothing's inside. You try to remember what you just saw. Was it a dog video? A political rant? A dance? It's gone, all of it. You scroll for an hour, but if someone asked what you learned, you'd have no idea. You might even say nothing and laugh it off. But deep down, something feels off, doesn't it? Because you can't shake the feeling that the more you scroll, the less you remember. Not just about the world, but about yourself. You used to read books. You used to remember movie quotes. Now you can't even recall what you ate for breakfast. You open your phone to check one thing, and 30 minutes later you're staring at a video of a raccoon eating grapes. It's funny. It's cute, but somewhere between the laughs, you start feeling dull, like your brain's been replaced with noise. And here's the truth nobody likes to admit. You don't just forget the content. You forget the intention. You don't even remember why you opened your phone in the first place. That's not an accident. That's architecture. Your phone isn't just a tool. It's an environment built for amnesia. Every pixel, every swipe, every scroll is designed to reset your focus before your brain can store anything real. You think you're in control, but you're walking through a casino built for your neurons. Each pull of the lever, each flick of the thumb, gives you just enough dopamine to make your brain whisper, stay, maybe the next one will be better. But dopamine isn't memory, it's chase. It rewards movement, not meaning. And the more you chase, the less you remember. It's not that you're lazy, it's not that you're dumb, it's that your brain is obeying. It's obeying the system that figured out how to sell your attention back to you. One micro-forgetting at a time. You're not consuming information. Information is consuming you. So the next time you feel that empty fog after scrolling, don't call it just being tired. Call it what it is. Digital amnesia. The invisible damage no one sees, but everyone feels. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, we're going inside your brain, and what you're about to learn might completely change the way you think about memory, focus, and your entire digital life. What if I told you that every time you scroll, your brain performs a tiny reset, deleting the last moment before loading the next? Every time you scroll, your brain performs a tiny reset. Think of it like this. You're walking through 100 doorways every minute. Each new post is a new room, and your brain, trying to keep up, wipes the last scene clean before loading the next. That's efficiency. That's survival. That's evolution. But here's the glitch. The brain that once helped you survive in the wild is now trying to survive the feed. Every swipe, every reel, every new thing triggers the same chemical hit. Dopamine. The molecule of chase dopamine says, this is exciting, do it again. But dopamine doesn't store memory. It doesn't care about meaning, only movement. The more you scroll, the more your brain learns one thing. Forget faster. Seek more. It's not that your brain is weak. It's too good at adapting. The hippocampus, the part of your brain that encodes long-term memory, depends on focus and context. But scrolling gives it neither. You're switching topics every 3 seconds. That's not multitasking. That's mental whiplash. You've heard of context collapse, right? Psychologists use that term for what happens when your brain can't tell where one thought ends and another begins. Imagine trying to write a book while someone's ripping out the pages as you type. That's your memory, online. You think you're learning, but you're actually deleting the bridge that connects one idea to the next. Every time you scroll, your brain has to reload the world, like closing one browser tab and opening another. But each time, a piece of what you were thinking gets lost in the transfer. The wild part? This isn't your fault. You're not fighting distraction. You're fighting architecture. Billions of dollars, millions of lines of code, all designed to make your memory unstable by design. You didn't lose focus. Focus was taken. The feed isn't infinite by accident. It's infinite because your brain isn't built to say enough, so it keeps going dopamine chasing dopamine until you forget what you were chasing in the first place. It's not just your attention that's being hacked. It's your memory system. And right now, your brain's being trained to live in fragments. You don't have a memory problem. You have a context problem. Your brain can't store what it was never given time to process. But here's the thing. If your brain can learn to forget this fast, it can also learn to remember again. Stay with me, because next, we're going to see how social media literally rewires your brain's memory architecture, and more importantly, how you can take it back. You don't have a memory problem. You have a context problem. Let's go deeper. Your brain wasn't built for this world. It was built for stories, cause and effect, moments that unfold, a beginning, a middle, and an end. That's how memory works. It connects events through time and emotion. But when you scroll, there is no story, no sequence, no conclusion, just endless fragments of almost meaning. Think about it. A 6-second video of a cat, then a war clip, then someone's lunch, then a motivational speech, then a crying stranger. Your brain's like, wait, what just happened? It's switching emotional gears faster than it was ever meant to. That's cognitive overload. Your mind doesn't know what to save, so it saves nothing. You see, long-term memory depends on context. Where you were, what you felt, what came before and after. It's like stitching a quilt. Every patch connects to the next, but scrolling tears those patches apart. Your brain keeps stitching, but the thread keeps breaking. Social media doesn't delete your memories. It replaces them with déjà vu. That's why everything online feels familiar. You've seen it before, or something like it, but your mind can't tell when or where. It's not remembering, it's looping. Your brain's reward system, the same one that evolved to remember faces, places, danger, joy, is now stuck chasing novelty instead of meaning. And here's the real danger. Every time you teach your brain that something new matters more than something important, you train it to forget faster. That's not just about social media. It's about life. You start treating real conversations like notifications, real memories like temporary files, and your identity, the collection of everything you've thought, felt, and learned, starts to fragment too. We talk a lot about short attention spans, but the truth is darker. It's not just our focus that's shrinking. It's our sense of continuity. You don't lose focus. First, you lose the thread that makes your life feel connected. Let me paint a picture. Imagine your brain as a movie editor. Every moment of your life is a frame. Your memories are the cuts that stitch those frames together. But when you scroll, you're hitting shuffle on the timeline. Everything gets chopped up. No scene ever finishes. You end up watching a movie with no beginning, no ending, just chaos. That's what social media does. It rewires your memory architecture, not by deleting information, but by making it impossible for your mind to decide what matters. The worst part, you don't notice it happening, because forgetfulness feels normal when it's constant. But wait, you might say, if my brain's that adaptable, can I reverse it? Absolutely. The same plasticity that made you forget can help you remember again. And that's exactly what we'll talk about next. How to rebuild your brain's rhythm and start making your attention your own again. What if the same system that's breaking your memory could also rebuild it? Here's something no one talks about. When you forget what you consume, you start forgetting who you are. Because memory isn't just storage, it's story. It's the thread that ties what happened to who I became. And when that thread breaks, your sense of self starts to unravel. You know that weird, empty feeling after a long scrolling session. It's not just burnout. It's disconnection. You've seen hundreds of faces, heard dozens of opinions, but none of them belong to you. Your brain can't tell if you've lived something or just watched it, so it stops trying. It stops caring. And slowly, you begin to feel hollow, like you've been replaced by your reflection. When you forget everything you consume, you start consuming yourself. But here's the truth. You can fix this, because the same brain that's been rewired to forget can also be retrained to remember. Not through force, not through guilt, but through rhythm. Your mind doesn't heal through escape. It heals through intention. Let me show you something powerful. I call it the reverse switch. Every 10 minutes of screen time, give your brain 1 minute of silence, no music, no scrolling, just breathe. Why? Because in neuroscience, that 1 minute activates your default mode network, the system that turns short-term data into long-term understanding. It's like a save button for your brain, but most people never press it. You don't need to delete your apps. You just need to digest them. Your brain doesn't need less information. It needs more stillness. When you stop, you give your hippocampus, your memory architect, the time to weave the fragments together. It connects emotion to event, event to lesson, lesson to identity. That's how you remember not just facts, but yourself. Before you open another app, say to yourself, what am I looking for? That question doesn't just change your focus. It rewires your brain to anchor intention before action. It's a pause that tells your neurons, this moment matters. And once your brain starts hearing that often enough, it stops chasing dopamine and starts chasing meaning. Because meaning is addictive too, just in a healthier way. Every breath between scrolls, every pause before you tap is your brain coming home. And when you do it often enough, you start to feel something you haven't felt in a while, clarity. But what happens when you stop scrolling long enough to face what's underneath the noise? That's what we'll uncover next, the memory of self. One day, you'll wish you could remember this version of you, the one who's trying to take control again, the version who's realizing that your brain, your memory, your life were never broken. They were just overloaded. You're not losing focus. You're not getting dumber. You're just adapting to a system that rewards forgetting. But now, you can change that, because awareness is the first rewrite. Your brain is plastic, which means it can rewire itself, heal itself, and rebuild the very habits that broke it. And here's the crazy thing. Every pause you take, every breath between scrolls, is your brain coming home. So the next time you feel that emptiness after scrolling, don't call it guilt. Call it a signal. That silence, that little void, it's your brain whispering, give me space, let me catch up. The silence between scrolls is where your mind remembers who you are. Try it. Before you open your phone, pause, breathe once, ask, what am I looking for? That tiny question rewires the circuit. It flips the algorithm inside your head, from reactive to intentional. And when you do that, you start remembering again. You remember the walk you took without your phone, the friend who listened without checking theirs, the sunset you didn't post because it was enough just to see it. Those are real memories, the kind that stick because they belong to you. Every pause is a doorway. Every breath is a bookmark. Every choice to be still is a vote for your future memory. You're not losing your memory. You're just remembering too many things that don't matter. And if this resonated with you, don't scroll away yet. Take a moment, just one breath. Right now, feel the air in your chest. Notice the room you're in. You're here. You made it back. And if you want to keep rebuilding that focus, to rewire your brain for clarity, for purpose, for presence, then stay. Subscribe, because the next video will show you how to remember in the age of infinite distraction. Your brain isn't broken. It's just waiting for you to pause.